Hey traders, welcome back. In today's class, we'll be talking about market structure. So I'm going to try as much as I can to explain or to simplify market structure for you to understand. In my previous class, I mentioned that we have three types of market structure, which includes uptrend, downtrend, and consolidation, which is the same thing as range. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to explain why an uptrend is called an uptrend, why a downtrend is called a downtrend, and why a consolidation is called a consolidation. I'm going to start with an uptrend. For an uptrend, we want to see the market pushing to the upside. All right, now let me start with a sketch. Let's say we have this swing here. For this swing, we have the low of this swing, which is this part, and we have the high of this swing, which is above here. Okay, we have the high and we have the low of this swing. Now I'm going to draw a straight line down here. I'm going to draw a straight line beneath it like this, and I'm also going to draw a straight line up here like this. Now if the next swing breaks this high here, we are going to have what is called a higher high. Okay, so let's see. After a swing like this, the market gives us a pullback like this. After a pullback, another continuation leg to the upside here like this. All right, now I'm going to introduce what is called higher high and higher low. Up here, I'm going to call this point higher high, and beneath the swing, beneath here will be higher low. All right, why is this point called higher high and why is this one called higher low? Because this high here is higher than the previous high, and why this one is called a higher low is because this low is higher than the previous low. All right, now we have this high here taken out and the market pushes to the upside. Do you get? The market pushes to the upside, and I'm also going to introduce what is called a break of structure and a change of character. If the market breaks the previous high to create a new one, we will have what is called a break of structure. So I'm going to change this to what is known as break of structure here. So a break of structure simply means that the market is still maintaining the trend, is still breaking structures to the upside, is still printing a new high, pushing to the upside. All right, okay, so we have this low, which is a higher low, and we have a new high here, which is a higher high. After a higher high, we want to see a pullback like this, a retracement, and another continuation to the upside like this. So here we have another higher low, which is this one here, and we have a new higher high, which is this one here. We have a new higher high here. Remember, for this swing here, I did not draw a straight line on it. Now let me just draw a straight line on this down part and this one up here. I was supposed to draw this straight line on it, but it's still the same. After this swing here, we had another swing to the upside, which was this one and this one here. Now, after a pullback, the market pushes to the upside, breaking the high to create a new one. Okay, so now that the market has broken this previous high to create a new one, this point of break is known as break of structure. It's known as break of structure. You can see here, right? Now we've gotten a new low and we've gotten a new high, which is higher low. Why is this one called a higher low? Because it is higher than the previous low. Why is this one called a higher high? Because it is higher than the previous high. Okay, Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to draw a straight line. I'm going to draw a straight line beneath here, like this. I'll also draw a line up here, like this. This swing here is our recent swing. This swing here is our recent swing. Pay attention, guys. Price can go ahead to do whatever it feels like doing here, in as much as it has not broken out of this swing here. This is our recent swing, this is the low, and this is the high. In as much as it has not violated this low, neither has it violated this high, this swing here is still valid. All right, this swing is still valid. Just take note of that. Now, let's say the retracement got to this point here and extended to the upside, giving us a new high like this. We've gotten a new swing here. This is the low of this swing and this is the high of this swing. So I'm going to label here higher low. Here is our new higher low and here is our new higher high. I also want to point out here that, look at here, we have a high. Yes, price has broken out of the recent high, but if price is still pushing to the upside like this, we cannot label here higher high yet. The only time we can label here higher high is when we have like a pullback around that point, like a pullback like this. That's when we can label here higher high, because price can still decide to extend to the upside, to keep pushing to the upside, but immediately we have like a pullback, we can now label that point higher high. So I'm going to clone this and bring it here. We have a new higher high here and we have a new higher low here. Now, since price has broken out of this one here, this turns towards break of structure. So I'll change this to a break of structure because price has broken the higher high to create a new higher high. So the swing that is now valid is this swing here. This one, this is the low of this swing and this is the high of this swing. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to draw a straight line beneath here, and I'm also going to draw a straight line above the higher high like this. So this is now a recent swing. If price decides to give us like a pullback, dance around this swing and decide to do whatever thing it feels like doing, in as much as price has not violated this low, neither has it violated this high here, this swing is still valid. This is our current swing. So immediately price breaks out of it like this to the upside, we now have a new swing. This swing here is going to be our new swing. This swing here is going to be the new swing we will be paying attention to. All right, so now we have a new low and we have a new high here. We have a new high here. What are we going to do? I'm going to label this down part higher low, and I'm going to label the upper part higher high. Remember what I said, is only when we have like a pullback, that's when we can call this higher high, because price can still decide to keep pushing to the upside. All right, it can still decide to push to the upside. So immediately we have like a pullback, we can now label that point higher high. We can now draw a straight line across it like this, and this low here, we are going to draw a straight line across it like this. So where is our recent swing? This is our recent swing here. And what can we call this here? This is a break of structure. We have a break of structure here. For an uptrend, and for us to have a break of structure, we want to see price breaking the previous high to create a new one. Breaking the previous high to create a new one. Immediately price breaks the previous high to create a new one, that point becomes a break of structure. Immediately price breaks the previous high to create a new one, that point becomes a break of structure. But now let's look at what is called a change of character. So we have a retracement like this, and instead of price, let's say this particular retracement goes down, instead of pushing to the upside, instead of giving us a new high like this, it decided to push to the downside like this, violating this low here, violating this low here. Immediately price violates the low. it has shifted structure. Okay, immediately price violates the low, it has shifted structure. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to label here. This is our new swing here. The previous swing was to the upside, but the new swing is pointing to the downside. What am I going to do? I'm going to label here high. This point will be labeled high. And where is the low of the swing? This is the low of this swing, guys. Here is the low of the swing. So I'm going to label this down part low. This is the recent swing here. And what should I label this line here? You remember, immediately price breaks the higher high, we label that point break of structure. So what am I going to label this down part? I'm going to label here change of character, because price has changed its character from an uptrend to a downtrend. Change of character is the same thing as market structure shift, because price has shifted its direction from an uptrend to a downtrend by breaking this low. So I'm going to change this to what is called change of character. So this is a change of character. And where is the high of this particular swing? This is the high. Where is the low? This is the low. So after a high and a low, you want to see a pullback like this. And after a pullback, you want to see another leg to the downside. So this leg to the downside has actually confirmed that price has done what? Has shifted from an uptrend to a downtrend. So we want to see what? We want to see a series of lower low and lower high. Now I'm going to introduce what is called lower low and lower high. This up here, I'm going to label it lower high. And the one beneath, I'll label this one lower low. Okay, why is this one called a lower low and why is this one called a lower high? Remember the other swing, we had this high and this low here. Here, we have the high and the low here. I drew a straight line here, and now I'm also going to draw a straight line here. I didn't draw a straight line beneath this one. Okay, so this was the initial swing, the high of this swing and the low of this swing. Price gave us a pullback, okay, and now it broke the previous low and created a new low here. That's why this one is called a lower low, because this low is lower than the previous low that we had, and this one is called a lower high because it is lower than the previous high that we had. Do you understand? Now, where is our recent swing? This is our recent swing here. And what am I going to label here? I'm going to label here break of structure. For a downtrend, when price breaks a lower low to create a new one, it is called a break of structure. When price keeps breaking the lower low, the previous low, to create a new one, pushing to the downside, we have a break of structure. But when price breaks the lower high to the upside, we have a change of character. Do you understand? So now, where is our recent swing? This is our recent swing here. So I'm going to draw a straight line above here like this. And where is the low of our recent swing? This is the low of our recent swing, which is lower low. Do you understand? If we have a pullback like this and price decide to do whatever thing it feels like doing inside here, dances around and all of that, in as much as it has not violated this low, neither has it violated this high, this swing is still valid. Immediately price pushes to the downside like this, breaking this low here, automatically price has given us what? A new high here, and it has also given us a new low. Remember, I cannot identify or I cannot label here lower low yet, because the market can still decide to keep pushing to the downside. But immediately you see like a pullback around that point, that's where you know that okay, price is done pushing to the downside, it wants to retrace inward. That's where you can now label here the lower low. So I'll label this part lower low, and this one will be called what? Lower high. This is our new lower high and this is our new lower low. Why is it called a lower high and why is this one called a lower low? Because this low here is lower than the previous one. Do you get? Look at this one is higher and this one is lower. This one is called a lower high because it is lower than the previous one. Do you understand? And this is called a lower low because it is lower than the previous low we had. Do you understand? So now, what am I going to call this point? I'm going to call this a break of structure. So I'll change it to what is called a break of structure. Do you understand? So the next thing we are going to do, where is our recent swing? This is our recent swing and this swing is what we want to pay attention to. So the next thing I'm going to do is to draw a straight line above here and I'm going to draw a straight line beneath this low here. So this is a recent swing and we want to see a pullback and for price to either break this low or break this high. Now pay attention to this, guys. So let's say we have a pullback like this. Let's say we have a pullback like this and instead of price to give us another continuation leg to the downside like this, price decides to break this lower high like this to the upside, like this to the upside. What are we going to do? Immediately price breaks the lower high, pushing to the upside, automatically it has shifted structure. You can see here the structure was to the downside, this structure was to the downside here, giving us what is called a downtrend. Let me just label here downtrend. For a downtrend, we want to see price keep breaking the lower low to create a new one, breaking the lower low to create a new one, breaking the lower low to create a new one. So once price breaks the previous lower low to create a new one, it means that price is still maintaining that particular structure and that particular trend. Do you understand? Immediately price breaks the lower high to the upside, it means price has changed its direction. It has shifted the structure from a downtrend to an uptrend. What am I going to label here? What am I going to call this? I'm going to call this the low. This is the low of our new swing. Since the swing is to the upside, this is the low of it. And this upper part here is the high of this swing. So I'm going to label here high. This is the high of this swing. And where did price break structure? Where did price breaks out from? This lower high. Now, am I going to call this a break of structure? No, I'm not going to call it a break of structure. Rather, I'm going to call this a change of character. Change of character is the same thing as market structure shift. So the market has shifted from a downtrend to an uptrend from this swing here. So this, I'm going to label it change of character. Do you understand? So we will now start identifying retracements to the upside, higher highs and higher lows. I just hope this is clear. Just if you don't understand, just go through it again. You understand. This is the foundation of it. That's why I have to take my time to explain it for you to understand. Okay, so if you don't understand, go through it again. We are going to go on the chart now to start identifying this. So I'm going to start from here, guys. This is the high and this is the low, right? So I'm going to label here high. This upper part is the high. And where is the low of this swing? Remember, this is a swing. This is a swing that we are working with for this analysis. And where is the low of this swing? This is the low of this swing. All right. This is the high and this is the low. The next thing I'm going to do is to draw a straight line above like this. And I'm also going to draw a straight line beneath the swing like this here. Now, this is the current swing. When price breaks the low to create a new one, we have a lower low. Do you understand? Since this market is pushing to the downside, all right, now we have this swing here. This is the high and this is the low. We want to see where price is going to break, if it's going to break the high or it's going to break the low. If it breaks the high, which means we are seeing the market pushing to the upside, but if it breaks the low, it means price is pushing to the downside. Do you understand? After this particular swing here, we saw a pullback and the next movement pushes to the downside. You can see here, breaking the low. So now we've gotten a new swing. We've gotten a new swing. And also, if this particular candle just stopped here and this one did not form pushing to the downside, we will not identify this as our new low. But for the fact that you can see that price is now giving us like a pullback, so we can now label here our new what, our new low. But first I'll draw a straight line across the low. I'll also draw a straight line above the high like this. The next thing I'm going to do is to introduce what is called lower high and lower low. Now I'm going to call this lower high. So this is our lower high, and what will I call this? Lower low. Why is this one called a lower low? Because it is lower than the previous low. Do you understand? It is lower than the previous low. And why is this one called lower high? Because it is lower than the previous high. This one is called a lower high because it is lower than the previous high. So where is now our recent swing? This is our recent swing from here to this point here. So I drew a straight line across the high, and I drew a straight line beneath the low. So I want to see where price is going to break. This is our recent swing here. You want to see a pullback and a continuation leg to the downside. Okay, so I'm going to extend this line like this here, and I'm also going to extend this line like this. So after this swing here, we saw a pullback, price pull in. You can see here it acted as if it was going to drop, stopped here and pushes to the upside again, stopped at this point, then decided to push all the way down. Have you seen? Now look at what happened. Price has decided to break this swing here to the downside. It acted as if it was going to break here. In as much as it was still intact, in as much as this particular move did not break, we did not have a new swing, but immediately the next swing pushes to the downside and broke the recent low. Automatically this becomes our new low, and this one becomes our new high. All right, so I'm going to do what? I'm going to clone this and label this my new lower high, and I'm going to clone this and label this what? My new lower low. This is where it stops before the retracement. So this is my new lower low, and what will I label here? This is a break of structure. This is what? This is a break of structure. So I'm going to label here break of structure, because this is where price actually broke the previous low to create a new one. All right, let's proceed. So where is our recent swing? This is a recent swing. This is the high of the swing, and this is the low of the swing. What am I going to do? I'm also going to draw a straight line across the swing, the high of the swing. I'm also going to draw a straight line beneath the low of the swing like this. So here we have a straight line below and we have a straight line above. This is our recent swing, and you can see here that price gave us a retracement, a pullback inward. Do you get a pullback inward? And after a pullback, what happened? It pushes to the downside here. You can see here, right? You can see price has done what? It has broken the previous low to create a new one here. So immediately price breaks the previous low to create a new one, this automatically changed to a break of structure. Do you understand? This automatically changed to a break of structure. So what will this be called? This will be called lower high. This is our new lower high here. And where is our new lower low? This is our new lower low here. So I'm going to label here new lower low, and here is our new lower high. This is a recent swing. So is this swing here that we want to pay attention to? What am I going to do? I'm going to draw a straight line across the high of this swing, and I'm equally going to draw a straight line beneath the low of this swing like this. Okay, now I want to see where price is going to break. Will price breaks the upper part, or price will break the lower part? Okay, now let's see what is going to happen. You can see here price was just rallying. It acted as if it was going to break this one, but in as much as this particular movement did not break this low, this swing is still intact. Do you understand? Now let's extend this to this part. You can see here after the rally, the consolidation dances around this point, and after some time price did what? Pushes up like this and push to the downside. Have you seen? So now price has given us a new swing here. It has broken out of the previous low here. It has broken out of the previous low to create a new low here. So what will I call this? I'll call this my lower low. Here is going to be called lower low. And what will this high be called? This high is going to be my lower high. So I'm going to label here my lower high. So we have a new swing, right? And what will I call this break here where we had the break? This is going to be called a break of structure. So when one's price keeps breaking the lower low to create a new one, we have a break of structure. When price breaks the lower low to create a new one, we have a break of structure. But immediately price breaks the lower high, we have what is called a change of character. It's the same thing as what market structure shifts. Do you understand? So now the next thing I'm going to do is to draw a straight line across here, and I'm also going to draw a straight line beneath this low here to check where price is going to break. Will price break the low or price will break the high? In this case, price broke to the upside here. Have you seen? So immediately price has shifted from a downtrend to an uptrend because it has broken the high. Have you seen? It has broken the high. So what am I going to call this point of break? I'm going to change this to what is called change of character or market structure shift, because it has shifted its structure from a downtrend to an uptrend based on this swing we are seeing here. So now I'm going to change what I label here to low. This is now a recent swing. Let me just shift this. So this is a recent swing here. This point here is a recent swing. What am I going to label down here? I'm going to label here low. This is the low of this swing. And where is the high of this swing? This is the high of this swing. So I'm going to label here high. Do you understand? This is the high and this is the low of this swing, and this is actually where we saw a change of character. So this swing here is now a recent swing. What am I going to do? I have a straight line below this low already. I'm also going to draw a straight line above the high like this. Okay, for now this is a valid swing that we have. We want to see if price is going to break the high or it's going to break the low. Now in this case we saw a pullback from this swing. The pullback stops around here. You can see here, this is where the candle stops and pushes to the upside here. Can you see? Now price has done what? It has created a new swing here. We have a new swing here to the upside. What am I going to label here? I'm going to label here higher low. Here, I'm going to label here higher low. And what will I label up here? What will I label this one above? I'm going to label here higher high. So why is this one called higher low and why is this one called higher high? Because it is higher than the previous low. Alright, why is this one called higher high? Because it is higher than the previous high. Do you understand? And now this is a swing that we are going to pay attention to. So this is our new swing. What are we going to do on this new swing? We are going to draw a straight line beneath the low of the swing, and we are going to draw a straight line above the high of the swing. So we want to see where price is going to break. Will price break the low or price will break the high? Okay, now we can see that we have a pullback. See that we have a pullback here. Dances around. This is where it got to before the next expansion leg to the upside. Now let's see where this particular swing got broken. can see here, this one here, this particular line here was what? A break of structure. So I'll label here, because price broke out of this high here. We have what is called a break of structure. So we have a break of structure here, pushing to the upside. And for this particular swing here, this was the current swing. Do you understand? And we saw a pullback. Price decided to push to the upside, giving us another continuation leg to the upside here, and it broke to the upside. So this particular high here, I'm going to change it to what is called a break of structure. When price keeps breaking the higher high, the previous high, to create a new one, we have a break of structure. But when price breaks the higher low to create a new one, we have a change of character. So in this case, price breaks the higher high to create a new high. So automatically that point is called a break of structure. Do you understand? So now we have a recent swing. This is the low of this recent swing, and this is the high of this recent swing. I'm going to label here higher low. This is our new higher low. And what am I going to label here? I'm going to label here higher high. This is our new higher high. So which swing are we paying attention to currently? We are paying attention to this swing here. And what are we going to do? We are going to draw a straight line across the high like this. And we are also going to draw a straight line below the low like this. Okay, so this is our current swing here. We want to see if price is going to break the high to create a new high, or price will break the low to create a new one. So what I will do here is to extend this line to this point here. You can see in this case, after this pullback here, a pullback, price decided to do what? To break this particular high here to create a new one here. Have you seen? So now we have what? We have a new high. And where is the low? Where is the low of this particular swing? This is the low of this swing. This point here, the point of break, is what is known as what? Break of structure. So I'm going to label here break of structure. What's the next thing I'm going to do? I'm going to draw a straight line below this low, and I'm also going to draw a straight line above this high here. I'm going to label here higher high here. I'm also going to label here my higher low. So this is our recent higher high, and this is our recent higher low. So we want to see where price is going to break. Will price break the higher low, or price is going to break this higher high? This is it about an uptrend and a downtrend. You can see we started with a downtrend here. You can see that we started with a downtrend, and we started stressing it using our break of structure and change of character and higher highs and higher low. And look at where price shifted the structure here. You can see the price shifted from a downtrend to an uptrend. Immediately price shifted structure, we started identifying what? Higher highs and higher lows, pointing to the upside. So this is it about this market structure. You really need to get this foundation right, because it's going to help you in your analysis. Now I'm going to point out a consolidation. Now here we have this swing here, and we have this swing here. Let's look for a consolidation inside here. So if price, this is a recent swing here, this is the high and this is the low. If price decides to dance around here like this, in as much as price is inside this box here, you can see this is the low and this is the high. In as much as price is within this box here, we are in a consolidation. Okay, we are in a consolidation. Price is in a range, is inside this box here, this high and this high. When you see that price is in a box, this is like a box here, and price is just dancing around that box without giving us a clear direction if that is going to push to the upside or is going to push to the downside. It's just dancing within that box. That is what is known as a consolidation. Okay, so this is the end of this particular class. I would like you to go on your chart and try to practice it and understand it. Okay, so I'm going to end this class here. See you guys in my next class.